I'm so enjoying this program because the environment is so friendly and so relaxing.
Test. 1, 2, 3, test.
Welcome to your guide to delivering the Repeat Read Aloud Programme for adults. ABC, accessing and building community through reading together. Some of our projects include celebrating Waitangi Day, reading Te Tiriti o Waitangi in a language you can understand. The Repeat Read Aloud Programme for adults in libraries, prisons, hospitals, marae, in fact, anywhere 2 or more people can meet together to share reading a book. The Peace Programme, the same method with themes based on peace. Be proud, read aloud at school, listening to one another at school assemblies. A common outcome of all these projects is what we call the Kete Community Journal, a collaboration of the stories shared each time a project is run. This training video focuses on the Repeat Read Aloud program for adults that is currently running in libraries and will cover who the program is for, what the program is about, and how to set up a program in your community. Who is the Repeat Read Aloud program for? There are no boundaries. Anyone wishing to improve their reading, pronunciation and understanding of a language can use this method. For example, new immigrants wishing to improve their English and meet people from the local community. Queer wishing to pass their language onto their mokopuna. An adult with low literacy wishing to improve their fluency and comprehension. A student supporting another student to cope with specialised texts. What is the Repeat Read Aloud program for adults? The Repeat Read Aloud program is designed to be a 12-session course run over 6 weeks after an initial orientation session the week before the course begins. However, this is flexible depending on the needs of your community. The key elements of the program are repeat reading together, the 12 themes, and the Kete Community Journal. Let's explore each of these key elements one at a time. Repeat reading together. What is repeat reading aloud? Repeat reading is non-threatening. That's why we don't say teacher and student. We are reading partners. But so you can distinguish who we are referring to, we will say volunteer readers and language learning readers. We say it's simple, it's easy and it's fun. There are 3 steps. These are explained in detail on our website and in the paper training manual, but let's show you here too. Step 1. The volunteer reader reads to the language learning reader.
No cornflakes, no eggs, no sardines, no waffles, he yelled.
Step 2. The volunteer reader reads with the language learning reader.
The table was magnificent.
Step 3. The language learning reader reads to the volunteer reader.
And the 5 of them turned their backs on her.
Sometimes there is an extra step between steps 1 and 2, where the language learning reader feels more confident if they repeat after the volunteer reader or try the text on their own.
On a cold day in January, he came into the dining room.
On a cold day in January, he came into the dining room.
Each step can be repeated as many times as is necessary for the language learning reader to feel confident. The language learning reader makes the decision to move on or repeat when they are confident. What do we read? This will depend on your group and its purposes. We have found authentic texts that use colloquial language and everyday phrases to be the best for people new to a community. Children's picture books are a wonderful resource if the subject matter is adult appropriate. The difficulty can be locating the best book. It is recommended that how to choose a book is covered during orientation, and language learning readers are asked to bring what they have chosen to read with them. If the program is being held in the library, there are endless choices. The key here is that the language learning reader chooses a book that interests them. If they don't like it, they stop reading it and choose a new book. To avoid frustration, it is better if the level of the text is not too difficult. There should not be more than 5 or 6 unknown words per page. Comprehension and fluency increase when the language learning reader is not stumbling over difficult vocabulary. Now to the second key element of all programs, the 12 themes. These themes have been trialled over 5 years and have been found to be a great starting point for uniting and connecting people with each other and their community. They explore universal principles that are common to all cultures. Furthermore, they form the basis of the Kete Community Journal. At the beginning of each session, these themes are repeated, reinforcing the repeat read aloud method and creating a discussion topic that forms the basis of the stories that will be shared for the Kete Community Journal.
Whether your journey through life is fortunate or unfortunate, is greatly determined by the way you use words.
Now to the third key element of all programs, the Kete Community Journal. The English translation for Kete is basket. A basket is made by hand. It carries and holds things. The Read Aloud baskets collect the stories from each community so that we can weave a kete.
How often have you said, I'll do that as soon as I get round to it? Now that you have a round to it of your very own, you will become a more efficient person and accomplish many things only dreamed of.
Needed sweetest just finished by me. It doesn't have buttons yet. No buttons.
By publishing the Kete online, it is easy to share our work with others. Once again, fulfilling our aim to access and build communities. Filling Kete takes the cooperation of many participants, recording the stories in both written and visual forms. Typing the words, taking the photos, collating the information becomes a team effort. When everyone contributes, we create rich baskets of knowledge that reflect our journey to community literacy. It is vital that the volunteer readers share their stories too. Then we can grow together to understand one another on many levels. You will find all back copies of the Kete Community Journals on the website. They are free to download. We recommend you follow the template of these Kete, so while each one has its own unique character, the themes that run throughout the program are represented in each Kete Community Journal. Some libraries have chosen to print the Kete and put them on the library shelves for everyone to enjoy. Permission must be gained from all participants, regardless of whether they are printed or published online. Forms for these are included in the library bag. How to set up a repeat read aloud program in your community. Find a space where you can meet regularly, for example the local library.
We had to find a nice space for them, and now it just feels natural. A library with a lot of noise occasionally. Fantastic.
Meet with the librarians to discuss the program and possible times it could run.
From the library's perspective, when we were asked about hosting this program, it was quite an interesting opportunity to think about how the library could interact well with the community outside. So the community comes to the library. Rather than just the people that are issuing books, we thought, wow, having a group of people learning to read English in an environment where you can say the words out loud, have someone beside you coaching you through.
Advertise for volunteers. This could be done through the library website, flyers at the checkout desk, and on posters around the library. Libraries that are committed to this program are usually happy to cover these costs. Local newspapers are another good way to promote the program and attract volunteers. They are interested to know what's going on in the community, and in the past we have had a good response from newspaper articles describing what we do and asking for volunteers. Train the volunteers. This can be achieved in one session, usually held the week before the program begins. It should include introductions, volunteers getting to know one another, explanation and demonstration of the Repeat Read Aloud method, becoming familiar with the volunteer booklets which describe the program session by session, setting up the volunteer team. Resources are available on the website outlining specific roles and responsibilities. It works best when the volunteers work as a team, sharing responsibility for the different tasks. Setting up the library bag. The library bag is your filing cabinet and storage cupboard. It is like a mobile office. It is best if it is on wheels so that it is not too heavy. To run a program, there will be a number of forms, manuals and resources you need to access on a weekly basis. These can be downloaded from the website. It is better if the library bag is stored in a place where anybody in the team can pick it up, in case the person usually responsible for it is unable to attend. Furthermore, if a volunteer is unable to continue for unforeseen circumstances in the middle of a program, the library bag will have all the resources required to complete the term. You are now ready to advertise for reading participants. Remember, this program is designed to be one-on-one, so limit the number of participants to match the number of volunteers. As it is only a short course, you can always have a waiting list for the next term. So, now you have a time and place to meet, volunteers trained, participants ready to begin, and all resources downloaded, printed and stored in the library bag. You can start accessing and building communities through the Repeat Read Aloud program for adults.
So the benefits were more than just the person coming through the library. In fact, I think the best part of it was that we as staff got to know the people who would perhaps use the library for years and years, but different from the traditional library user. So excellent.
Hi, my name is Tommy, and this is Melinda. She's my wife, and we have been doing as a volunteer for 3 years. But at the beginning, I was a reader too, and after that, because I met Cecilia, and she asked me to be a volunteer, and from that moment on, I am doing this job. And from that, I create my confidence and also improve my speaking and listening. And you can say one thing: learning, you can have a start, but you can no end. Learn English especially.
I've been surprised at the age of the people in the group. We have quite a few elderly people learning English as a foreign language, and that's tough. I'm not young myself, and I'd hate to have to learn another language. And I really think these people are great the way they try.
My name is Jane, and I love the library, so I'm the member of the library. One day I came here and I found the flyers of this program. So I entered this program. I was very enjoyed. I'm so enjoying this program because the environment is so friendly and so relaxing. So I learned a lot of things happily.
I try learn learn English because I need English for communication with another people. With when you go to bank, when you go to counselor, when you go to any base, I need English. So I try, and my age now, 63 years.
I'm Dave. I've been a volunteer with the program for, this is my second year now. I'm unemployed and it gives me a sense of purpose to be working with the program.
She cannot even speak one word.
Yes, so I just follow the Tommy, come here and be a golfer.
Before I came to here, I was very interested, but now my volunteer is very kind and friendly, so I enjoy it. I'm happy.